Hello, you guys. We're here for who is your inner CFO? And sorry for the momentary delay. I was just trying to figure out how to do this live thing. So I'm so glad you're here. Today, I am welcoming you to the April enrollment of Spherical Wealth 90-Day Immersion. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and then I'm going to talk about the premise behind what this program means to me, why it's important to you, and that is all centered around what I'm calling your inner CFO. So that's what we're going to uncover today. So if you will, let's start the way we start all things, right? Is getting grounded and getting intentional. So I invite you to feel your feet on the floor with me. Whew. Letting the anxieties of getting here and being present fall off into the ground. And feeling our feet on the floor, shifting our spine, connecting our mind and body, and closing our eyes to take a few deep breaths, holding at the top and releasing a couple more times. And as we breathe in all the love and support of Mother Earth, holding and releasing, making space for divine inspiration to come in. And one more time. God, divine light, source, higher power by any other name. Let the words that come out of my mouth be the words that need to be spoken, be the words that need to be heard. Let my people show up with open hearts and willingness and readiness to take action, to take the next step in their financial future. And as always, let the breakthroughs come in 20 minutes or less so we can get on being the change that we wish to be in this world. Taking another deep breath. And so it is. So let's get started. Thank you so much for being here. As I mentioned, it's April enrollment for Spherical Wealth 90-Day Immersion. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I do want to direct you to the website that has way more detail on that. It's sphericalwealth.com. And if you go there, you'll be directed to the webpage, the homepage, which talks a lot about me, my perspective, my philosophies, and also the other programs that I'll be opening for enrollment later this year. If you click on one of the buttons, it will bring you to the Spherical Wealth page where it talks specifically about this 90-day immersion. So if you feel called to do that, you can scroll through that while you're listening to me in the background. I will not be offended. There's also a Google Doc, very professional Google Doc in my posts that has the summary version of what it is, how to pay, how to enroll, how to get started. So with that, let's begin, right? Spherical wealth is a concept that came to me and is constantly in evolution. And really what it's about is, in the 18 years that I've been in accounting, I've seen many different entrepreneurs come to me, and as soon as they sit down in front of me for whatever conversation we're about to have, whether it's about the tax return, whether it's about the quarterly or monthly financial reports, something happens. Something takes over where emotions come into play, and they kind of muddy the waters when we're trying to talk about strategy, when we're trying to get across what these numbers are and how we can use them to make really great financial decisions that are not only intuitive based on, you know, our guidance and the change that we're looking to make in the world, but also based in our financial history, in our business's progress. That's what the numbers are there to tell us. And they are neutral. They are not saying, oh, this was a good month or a bad month. You are saying that this month was a good month or a bad month. So in that, having that experience over and over and over again, I created the Spherical Wealth Method, and specifically the 90-day immersion, to help specifically female entrepreneurs, move outside of what's happening when they sit down and look at the numbers, what's happening when they sit down across from their accountant, and really bringing the boldness, the creativity, and all of who they are to that conversation, always 100% of the time. So let's talk about who is your inner CFO. First of all, what is CFO? CFO stands for Chief Financial Officer. Now stay with me, please. Most people, when they hear Chief Financial Officer, they're like, oh, that's for a multinational corporation. That doesn't apply to me. I don't make enough money. I'm not established enough. That's really expensive. I want to do everything myself and keep it in my control. All of these things come up. We can call them limiting beliefs if you want to. We can say that this is the money mind showing up that hasn't been harnessed, that hasn't been cultivated in true relationship with our soul and true relationship with ourselves, right? So bear with me as we debunk some of these things. What is a chief financial officer? Let's define that role first. What that person does is they oversee all of the money systems that have different divisions within the company. So that's going to include their tax division, their accounting division, their investing division. All of these things kind of come together, and there's oversight by one individual that also has a seat at the table, right? He or she is in C-suite, there to be the person who is informing and supporting the decisions that the company is making for the progress of the business. Now, it's also true that businesses that have a CFO have maybe a high volume of transactions, so it's supported by a lot of different people. It's also true that a CFO gives peace of mind to investors. When the company is working with a lot of other people's money, investor money, loans, what have you, it gives a great deal of confidence to the people who are investing and putting money into the enterprise to have someone who is very well versed, who is expert in the different money systems saying, yep, I looked at that. That makes sense. It's okay. Don't worry. The numbers that we're putting before you make sense. They're maybe being audited. They're being looked at minimum regularly. Okay, so that's what a chief financial officer is and what they do in a nutshell. There's more to it, but for our purposes today, I wanted to explain the role and how it might apply to you and your business. So people say, okay, well, Jennifer, that's great, but I'm not operating at that level yet, and I don't think I need that. And my question to those people are, do you ever have a moment where you feel like, gosh, it would be really nice to run this decision by somebody who really understands the numbers that I'm looking at? And when I say numbers, you guys, I'm coming predominantly from my accounting background when I talk about your numbers. Your numbers are anything that reflects your money, anything that reflects your finances, anything that reflects your business's performance, because accounting is the language of business. So that's predominantly what I'm looking at when I say let's look at your numbers. If I say something like, well, your codes, I'm typically talking more to the energetics, the numerology, and that kind of thing. But I see how it can be confusing. Right now, we're talking about your business's numbers and how we interpret those numbers that are on the page. So have you ever felt that, gosh, I don't feel like I'm qualified to make this decision about my financial future, whether it's in my personal life or in business? Specifically, we're talking about business today. It happens quite a bit. And that's the point at which when I see the business owner sit down with me and start having this conversation, something is shifting in their mentality to have the conversation with me. They are shifting into what they think they need to be. They may be feeling like they are not competent to have this conversation. They may be feeling like this is not fun and this is not where I want to be and this is not what I was trained to do. They may be thinking I'm just inadequate and I'm never going to be able to figure this out. And I'm always going to need to outsource this, the financial interpretation of my numbers to somebody else. And that creates a disempowering state. So welcome to a program that is going to help you get in touch with your inner CFO. What do I mean by that? I mean getting in touch with your soul, your internal compass, your internal guidance, your higher self. There are so many ways that we talk about this aspect of ourself that is all-knowing, that has the answers, even when our brain tells us that we don't have the answers, that we need somebody else to help us. The empowering part of us who knows, who just knows, who doesn't have to verify. But the great thing about this program is it teaches us how to trust our intuition and verify it and back it up with the information that's showing up in our business financial reports. Welcome to a program that teaches you that you don't have to flip switches when you're talking about your finances. You don't have to step into a disempowered state. You don't have to believe that somebody else knows how to do this better. You can show up with all of you. You can show up the way that you do when you're operating in your zone of genius. And still get some really logical, rational, and intuitive guidance from your numbers. So let's talk about your numbers a little bit. Where are our numbers? They're in our profit and loss statement. They're in our balance sheet. They're in our bank statements, our credit card statements, our tax returns. All of these places we find our numbers. And when we're coming to the table and looking at these things, wouldn't it be helpful if you felt confident, competent, and ready to receive the messages that you need to receive? Not only from these reports, which are, again, completely neutral. They're completely neutral. It's the same part of us that says, I can't do this, I don't know how, I need somebody else to help me, that is saying, oh, that was a good month or a bad month. Oh, I have enough money to open that new location or I don't. Oh, I have the expertise and the know-how to open that location or I don't. Am I ready financially to hire that other person? Can I consistently make that number? How do I know? How do I know when I'm ready to make some of these decisions? And there's the part of us inside of us that says, yeah, go for it. Like, this is the next phase. You will figure it out on your way. And it's that part of you that will also, when you say yes to it, bring in other people to support you on that path. What I teach you in the Spherical Wealth 90-day program is to trust that inner guidance and to be more comfortable with the money, the math. Hey, Nicole. The money, the math, and everything that goes into feeling really confident in your decision making, trusting and verifying, and doing that process over and over again to the point where you don't feel like you need to call me up and say, hey, Jennifer, help me work through this. But you can, because there's a value in having a financial thought partner that does understand these things. And at that point, when you are coming from a place of confidence that I am divinely guided in my next steps, that I am allowing the inspiration to guide me, and then I'm looking at the numbers to help me figure out what is the strategy that is best for me. It's at that point that I'm ready to work with you full time, right? It's at that point where you're not relying on me. I do not know, I cannot manifest for you. So this program is not about me selling you CFO services. It's teaching you what it's like to have a financial thought partner on your side. and to decide if that is something that you want now or down the line. But what you can do right now is tap into your own inner CFO, your own chief financial officer, and start making financial decisions from a place of trust and confidence and love, and true love. Is there anything else that I need to share with you? Just going through my notes here. I think we covered everything that I wanted to talk about for the CFO part of it. So let's talk about briefly, if you're interested in this 90-day program. Again, if you're just tuning in, check out the sphericalwealth.com website, where it gives you the whole rundown of my whole thought process, you know, the agenda for each month, because it's a 90-day program, so 3 months. Each month we'll be focusing on something different. You get 9 meetings with me in total. Each meeting is focusing on something different. So look through that in the agenda that's posted there. On the 4th day of the month, the 4th week of the month, you are going to be guided into your own soul session with your inner CFO. And during the 3 prior meetings, I will give you some inspiration, some suggestions and recommendations for how that's going to flow. So you are not being left to your own devices. You don't have to come up with the method, but there is some divine creativity and flow that is going to be a part of that. Know that everything that comes through in this program is using all of my expertise. So that's using my certification in public accounting, that's using my certification in Akashic record reading, that's using my certification in Geo-Love healing. Now, all of these programs took months upon months to go through. This is not like a weekend course. This is not something that I just started yesterday. I have done 40 to 100 Akashic readings at this point. I have done so many healings at this point. So know that when you have meetings with me, I'm bringing all of me. It's not just the person who's in the accounting brain. And I think that helps people develop a comfort level of bringing all of yourself to the table. And that's what unleashing your inner CFO is all about, right? So look at the website. There's also the Google Doc. I'll drop the link again for that. That's the condensed version of what the program is, the payment links, the how to register, all of that. This enrollment period closes on Saturday. So Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, that is it. What else did I want to say about that? Oh, there were questions about how the meetings are structured. So the way that it works, we start the first week in April for this run. And you choose a day and a time that you can commit to consistently every week of the month for 3 months, okay? On the 4th week, we will not meet, you will meet with your inner CFO, your soul session, I call it. If there's a 5th week, you get a break, right? A breather. If you choose Tuesday in April, I have to let you know, I will be at jury duty the 2nd Tuesday in April. So if you chose Tuesday, I will reschedule, okay? Everybody, since you are choosing your own day and time, I'm gonna hold you to that. So there's one reschedule, okay? I think that's it. All of the details will be provided during intake. So you're gonna click the link, you're gonna choose the payment plan. There are payment plans there for you. I believe it's 3-month and 6 pay, and then there's a pay in full with bonuses. So definitely check that out. That's in the Google Doc. What else can I tell you? Are there questions? I'm not seeing any questions come up, but like I said, enrollment ends the end of day Saturday. Today is Thursday. Send me a direct message if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer any of your questions, concerns. If this video wasn't enough or my other videos weren't enough to get into the energy of what it's like to work with me, we can jump on a quick call today, tomorrow, or Saturday. All right. I think we hit the 20-minute mark. I hope there were some breakthroughs there for all of you. I'm super excited for those of you who joined us live. If you didn't make the live, absolutely look at the replay. Again, I'll be dropping all of the links. If there's any questions, either about what is your inner CFO, who is your inner CFO, or how do I determine what are my next financial decisions on my horizon, because we talk about a lot of that in the program too. We're starting with what's your next step? What's that scary thing that's been floating around in the back of your mind that you need some support to talk through? All right. And again, we do that not only from a strategy perspective, but we might tap into the Akashic records. We might just like receive intuitive guidance. That happens to me all of the time, right? And we might be dealing with the actual energies that are around you, past, present, and future. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys. And if there's any questions, feel free to direct message me. Okay, take care for now.